The energy of Vivaldi is what really strikes me and makes it, a special composer for me. The sharing of the energy with the orchestra and the audience, it's a very much alive music. He was very prolific, so it cannot have been too premeditated. He must have got up in the morning and wrote these things very quickly. So in that respect, I find there's always something fresh from the energy in Vivaldi's work, and it's this rapport that you get immediately with the orchestra. The audience, to me, is a very important feature of the concert. There's 3 or 4 very important components. There's obviously the composer, there's the colleagues, musical colleagues on the stage, and there's the audience. Those are the 3 important components. Without this, you do not get the kind of electric circuit.
But it's a love song of Vivaldi's that he wrote for this lady he was never able to actually meet because of his work for the church, which prohibited such liaisons. So he only saw her through the window when he was writing his early morning concerto each day, and he couldn't even say hello because the window was closed. So this was a love which reminded me of my great friend Axel Gerhardt, who told me today that he has seen in the audience a beautiful young lady who also, because of his job as professor, he is not allowed to
For the Berlin Philharmoniker, I think, they're used to playing Mahler, Bruckner, all of these big things, and to get a small group together, I think they find it refreshing also. So there's this thing with the music which immediately establishes contact between musicians and also between musicians and audience.
One more time, yeah.
Another interesting point about Vivaldi is even though he's so well known for the Four Seasons, and quite often I've been put on hold in hotel phones listening to my own blasted recording of the Four Seasons, and I'm thinking, why am I doing this to myself? But apart from the Four Seasons and 1 or 2 other slightly more well-known concertos, it's almost like discovering new music. Out of these violin concertos that he wrote, there's some which have never been played on a platform before, obviously some which have never been recorded before. This D major has been recorded once or twice, but it's not exploited on the record, on the CD catalogue, in the same way that other works by other composers are. And there's 1 or 2 that we're recording which have never been recorded before. So it's like discovering a new work by a composer who wrote it hundreds of years ago.
It is now a fantastic moment for me to be able to introduce to you the latest, the greatest oboe player in the world and universe, and everything connected with it. A fantastic man, a most beautiful sound you've ever heard. Albrecht Meyer!
I enjoy playing concertos with another soloist involved. I think a little bit more than doing the solo concertos, because there's someone else to bounce off, there's someone else who can also be a catalyst. With the Berlin Philharmonic, obviously you get loads back and things are happening and amazing contributions are coming from everybody. But if you've got another soloist standing up with you, it's an extra kind of call and response type of collaboration of ideas, as opposed to me having to come with too many preconceived formulae. Having another soloist who might do anything at any time stops me being so preconceived about my approach to the music and gives me an extra freedom and energy with it. If I'm playing, for instance, well, with Albrecht Meyer, this concerto in B flat, other fresh ideas and strong ideas are coming from him. Same with Daniel Strabrava, with who I've played 2 double concertos on the first Vivaldi album that we made. I'm now playing 3 more concertos involving 2 violins with Daniel, and he's such an aristocratic player. We've got quite different sounds, which I think is advantageous, because like you can hear what my sound is, and I remember those records that Stefan Grappelli made with Yehudi Menuhin. You could tell them apart very easily, and that was actually an advantage rather than having this more homogeneous approach, which quite often 2 soloists might contrive to have, where they both sound exactly the same. Daniel and I have both got our fingerprint very firmly in evidence in our sound, and I think it adds to the music to hear something played twice but totally different by 2 different personalities.